My name is Jason DeBrowner. I'm a mixologist and I have a company called Thirsty Scientist. A mixologist is someone who is an artisan in creating cocktails. New cocktails, inventing their own recipes. Well, I started being a bartender. When I was 20, I saw the movie Cocktail and decided I want to become a bartender. So I enrolled in the local bartending school, and first week I was 21, I got my first bartending job. And within a few months, I was bartending at Universal City Walk. And there I really got to learn the ropes of what it means to be a bartender and got to try to start to invent my own recipes. Well, there are a few ways I get inspired for a new recipe. Sometimes I'll just be at a supermarket and I will see a product and think, oh, that might be really good in a cocktail. And other times I'll be watching a show like Top Chef, let's say, and I see the contestants on that show pair together certain ingredients, and I get inspired to try to make that into a drink. Another thing is I'll just be out at a bar on a Friday night and I'll see something that looks really good on the menu and I'll order it and I'll really enjoy it and try to make my own version of that. Everything I do is usually something new to people who drink the drinks, almost always something new. And I like to use a lot of fresh ingredients. I have, certain combinations that make some guests at the parties I work at just come up to me and tell me how much they enjoy the drinks I make for them. I like to use fresh fruits, fresh juices, herbs, natural ingredients, things like agave syrup as opposed to sweet and sour, and something a little more healthy than you would usually find. For example, during the summer, in the World Cup and 4th of July, I came up with some American-themed things. Like I had red, white, and blue shots. And so I had the blueberry strudel shot, and I'd have a strawberry shortcake shot, as well as something I call the Coco Loco, which is coconut. And so you'd line up all the shots next to each other and they'd be red, white, and blue. So that's one example of something I do. Another party I've done was a tea party. And I dressed up in my science outfit, obviously, but also with a Mad Hatter hat, and I made some spiked iced tea. So I definitely try to fit into the parties I'm in. And themed parties is something I specialize in and come up with custom drinks for that party. Such as Halloween, I just made a Halloween menu where I have a number of drinks from punch bowl type things and martinis and shots that all are scary or Halloween themed in some way and very colorful. One signature thing that is really popular is I call it the Reverend, and it's a new modern twist on a Presbyterian, which is an older whiskey drink. And I have whiskey in it. I use ginger beer, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, basil, and everyone who drinks it just raves about it, and they keep on coming back, and the party gets going. Creative mode, and I sit down and I think about things. I like to come up with good names for things. Sometimes the drink will even start with a name, and I will try to make it fit into that. Let's say for Halloween, I liked the name for martini being Vampire Blood. So I came up with using blood oranges with pomegranate seeds and pomegranate juice to give it that really dark color. So, sometimes it starts with the color I want to make a drink and the name and what I can make to fit into that tastes really good. Other times I just have a good idea for what a drink should taste like that I want to taste, or that I want it to taste like, and it's a very creative process, and every drink is a little bit different, the creative process with it. So usually I'll just invite some friends over and I'll start experimenting, and I'll even ask their opinions of things, and they let me know if they like it, if they think there's too much of a certain ingredient in it, or if they can't taste one of the ingredients in it. And so it's definitely, I have to attribute a lot of credit to my friends, my girlfriend, for helping me kind of solidify a lot of my recipes. I dress up in my lab coat and try to go with the theme of the party, if there is one, or I would try to analyze what my guests' personality is like and try to give them some drink options that fit with that. Let's say one example, maybe a male in his later 20s, and maybe he's kind of jockish or something, let's say. I might tend towards bringing some whiskey to the table and drink whiskey drinks, as opposed to, let's say, a birthday party for a woman who's in her mid-50s. I might consider, you know, some martinis and maybe some champagne cocktails. Yeah, I would say so. Certain types of ethnicities prefer certain types of liquors. You know, certain maybe Hispanic or even Middle Eastern people like tequila a lot. So I might push the tequila on some of them. You know, more maybe upper class parties, I might recommend some gin and some gin martinis or some other martinis going on. Champagne cocktails, always a hit with them. You know, for a younger, more hip crowd, I would recommend some whiskey. That seems to be very trendy right now, and there's some really great options for whiskey drinks that we offer. Yeah, weddings are very special. You know, we definitely tone down the science theme a little bit and try to be elegant. A major hit with weddings is our signature champagne cocktail. It's called the Bio Blossom, and we use some Saint Germain's, which is an elderflower liqueur, and some hibiscus flower in there, which gives this great pinkish hue at the bottom and gradually blossoms as it's sitting in the champagne glass, and it makes it look like a piece of art. And women absolutely love this drink, and you know, I will run out of those real quick at a wedding. Yeah, I've done, you know, a few of those, and it's definitely on a bigger scale, those things. So I have to make sure that I'm making drinks that are easy to make. You know, at certain smaller parties and weddings, we could take more time with putting the drinks together. At a corporate event, we have to make sure that everyone's getting their drinks, and they're getting them rather quickly. The trends are moving away from sweet, artificial flavored drinks such as apple puckers and cosmopolitans. And what's becoming more trendy is natural, fresh ingredients. For example, Thirsty Scientist, we offer only fresh ingredients at our events. And what I find that works really well is fruit paired with herbs. You know, an example of this is called the Bloodhound, which is a grapefruit vodka martini we offer. It's garnished with basil, and it's a simple drink that tastes good. And you know, just all the only ingredients: basil, grapefruit juice, vodka, a little bit of agave syrup, and gets great reviews from our guests. It's a great way to start off a cocktail hour and get the night going right. Well, when I think of grandfather drinks, I think of whiskey drinks. And this is actually coming back now with a lot of momentum. A lot of whiskey bars opening up all around Los Angeles, and it's much more common in the night scene. You know, a lot of classic whiskey recipes are coming back with a new modern twist to them, such as Thirsty Scientist's signature Reverend drink, which is a twist on the Presbyterian. And in it we have ginger beer, We use some fresh squeezed lemon juice and a stalk of mint. And it still has that bold whiskey taste, but it's really fresh and could get you onto the dance floor. I'm a big science buff, and I see making a new recipe like the scientific process and the recipe itself like a scientific formula. So I just decided to roll with that idea. Well, Thirsty Scientist is a bartending service that brings inventive and fun recipes to events. We like to always bring something new, something that's going to taste delicious, and something that people will be talking about even when the party's over. First drink is called the Reverend. It is one of Thirsty Scientist's signature whiskey drinks, and it has some whiskey, half of a fresh squeezed lemon, ginger beer, club soda, a bit of a stir, and some mint. And this is a drink that just gets better as you drink it, because the mint will absorb into the liquid. It's called the Bio Blossom, and it includes some dry champagne, some elderflower liqueur, and one hibiscus flower. And voila, the Bio Blossom. Good for weddings, engagement parties, or any toasts. Cheers!